Let's go Broncos! Things are heating up behind the scenes with the Denver Broncos, and I have some important things to discuss with you. We know the Broncos want to reach the Super Bowl, and for that, our general manager will need a quality roster. I'll tell you everything I know, but before we get to the point, I've already hit the like button if you've been a Denver Broncos fan for over 20 years. It's great to see fans of all ages. If possible, comment like this: Go Broncos! My heart bleeds orange and blue. Jarrett Stidham, the name few expected to see in the spotlight of an AFC championship game, is now the key piece in a narrative that has been unfolding quietly, but powerfully, behind the scenes in Denver. The 29-year-old quarterback, previously known only as a career backup with the New England Patriots, now has the chance of a lifetime with the Denver Broncos. And the most impressive thing? He didn't get here by chance. Stidham is now Denver's starting quarterback at a crucial moment. His challenge? Beating the Patriots, ironically, his former team, won't be his first playoff game, only his fifth as a starter in the NFL. A story of redemption, persistence, and perhaps destiny. That's because, behind the scenes, there's a wave of confidence circulating among players, coaching staff, and even the local media. Sean Payton, the Broncos coach, has been one of the main enthusiasts. He not only trusts Stidham but was also one of the main reasons for his arrival in Denver. Payton has been watching him since his time at Auburn and seized the first opportunity he had to bring him to the roster. Now, that bet will be tested under the spotlight of an elimination game. But I also want to talk about a tension that's incredibly high. The New England Patriots have been taunting, challenging the Broncos as if they were invincible. But a storm is brewing at Mile High, and the Broncos are ready to remind the league who they are. Watching both teams' press conferences was like comparing fire to smoke. The Broncos were focused, cohesive, and burning with determination. Meanwhile, the Patriots? Pure bravado and arrogance. Take the case of the rookie offensive lineman, for example. The guy was drafted high up, but ranks 32nd out of 89 tackles in the NFL. He's a real hurricane on the defensive line, and his own creators are saying so online. The guy is being massacred in pass protection, and that's forcing Drake May out of the pocket play after play. However, when asked about Nick Bonitto, one of the fastest pass rushers in the league, ranked just behind Myles Garrett in sprint speed, he didn't even show respect. Just a lazy yeah, he's a good player. That kind of disrespect is dangerous, not for us, but for them. Nick Bonitto and Jonathan Cooper are true game changers, and they're not just numbers on paper. They're the kind of players who pressure the opposing quarterback to the point of making him question his life choices. Bonitto is elite, and Cooper, right behind him in terms of impact. The Patriots? They're sleepwalking toward a nightmare in Denver. And then there's Christian Gonzalez, when asked about playing at altitude. Any smart player would recognize the Broncos' home advantage. It's the biggest in the NFL. Instead, he gives a wry smile. He simply ignores it. When Marvin Mims leaves him behind with a double dribble and Gonzalez is huddled on the sideline, panting, that smile won't seem so confident. But nothing, and I mean nothing, bothered me more than Milton Williams' response about Jarrett Stidham. When asked what he knew about the Broncos quarterback, the man said, "Nothing. I'm not going to lie. That alone is enough to motivate the team." It was all Sean Payton needed to further ignite this team. Jarrett Stidham isn't here to make friends. He's here to make Bo Nix proud. And the way he's embracing that role? Chilling. Absolutely chilling. He stated in the press conference that it's not about revenge. It's not about a contract. It's about Bo, his best friend, who is recovering from a serious injury. Stidham sees Bo more than he sees his own children, and he's determined to honor him. You can't fake that kind of bond. You can't manufacture this kind of grit. This team isn't just playing football. They're playing for each other. For Bo. For the city. And that's the kind of chemistry you don't often see in professional sports. Sean Payton built this locker room like a high school team. United, loyal to the end, tenacious. And they're going to overcome more talented teams simply because they believe in each other. And let me tell you something. Stidham has the talent. The Patriots don't even know what to expect from Sean Payton's playbook with him at the helm of the offense. We're talking accurate passes, composure in the pocket, and a man who's already thrown for 365 yards against one of the best defenses in the league, the 49ers. The guy has been destroying the Broncos' best defense in practice all year, throwing no-look passes and impressing even during reserve team practices. Reportedly, Vance Joseph even got frustrated with his good performance against the main team. And while the Patriots are sleeping on him, league insiders aren't. One anonymous executive even said the Broncos might be better off with Stidham than Bo, not because of talent, but because he's a better fit stylistically against the Patriots. Former NFL QB Jordan Palmer, who trained both Stidham and Bo Nix, said the gap isn't even that big when both play their best football. That's not a Broncos homer, that's an expert who knows. The Broncos also just got some phenomenal injury updates. Luke Wattenberg is back practicing and activated from IR. Alex Forsyth, who tweaked his ankle last week, is trending toward playing, meaning we might not have to rely on Mustafa this time around. But the biggest news? J.K. Dobbins, a full participant in practice. He looked fast, decisive, and was working with the first team. Pat Bryant is back too. That's a huge boost for this offense. Meanwhile, the Patriots are losing key pieces. Matt Collins, one of their most versatile wideouts, won't be activated this week. That's a big win for Denver's defense, especially when combined with a brutal cold front expected to sweep through Mile High. Below zero kickoff temps, brutal wind chill, and thin air. That's a nightmare scenario for an offense that relies on timing and rhythm. And if you remember that crushing double overtime playoff loss years ago with Peyton Manning, it wasn't because of a lack of talent. It was the cold. This time, we've got the advantage. Because this isn't just another playoff game. This isn't about schemes and stats anymore. This is about heart. And if there's one thing this Denver Broncos team has shown all year long, it's that they're built different. Every press conference, every locker room interview, every sideline interaction tells the story of a squad that's bonded beyond the field. These guys aren't just teammates, they're brothers in battle, fighting for something bigger than themselves. That's the kind of team that pulls off miracles. That's the kind of team that doesn't flinch when the lights are brightest. Let's talk about how Sean Payton has molded this identity. He's instilled a culture that's drawn comparisons to the closeness of the legendary 1997 Super Bowl team. That's not hyperbole, it's what you hear from players and insiders. When a coach gets his team to play for each other, truly play with purpose, that's when you get those magical runs we'll talk about for decades. And Jarrett Stidham isn't just along for the ride, he's the engine powering this charge forward. His mindset going into this game? Flawless. He's not shaking. He's not scrambling. He's focused. He's calm. And when asked about the wave of fan support behind him, his answer wasn't about proving the doubters wrong or putting up numbers. It was about honoring Bo Nix. That says everything you need to know about the emotional core of this team. He's playing for Bo. They're all playing for Bo. Meanwhile, the Patriots keep chirping. The smugness in their responses. The way they've dismissed altitude, ignored elite defenders like Benito and Cooper, and shrugged off Jarrett Stidham like he's just another backup. They're not prepared, mentally or physically. This isn't going to be some walk into Foxborough against a crumbling opponent. This is Denver. This is the Rockies in January. This is blood in the water football. And make no mistake, the Patriots are walking into a buzzsaw. The Broncos have been disrespected all week long, and every comment from New England is more fuel for the fire. Whether it's underestimating our pass rushers, waving off the challenges of altitude, or publicly saying they haven't even studied our quarterback, it's all going on the walls of Dove Valley. This is the exact kind of arrogance that leads to upsets. You see, Stidham doesn't need to do anything flashy, he just needs to be himself. Efficient, decisive, fearless. And with the offensive line bolstered by Wattenberg and potentially Forsythe, there's a real chance for him to stay upright, find his reads, and let playmakers like Marvin Mims, J.K. Dobbins, and Pat Bryant go to work. And don't overlook the cold weather factor. New England's offense, as explosive as it can be, isn't built for this kind of climate. Altitude, -0 wind chill, tight coverage from Pat Certain, it's a recipe for frustration on their end. The Broncos defense, meanwhile, is licking its chops. Drake May is walking into the loudest, most hostile environment of his young NFL career. Let's not forget, this is his first road playoff start, and it's happening in conditions that test even seasoned veterans. We're talking loud, freezing, and at elevation. You can't simulate that in practice. You can't prepare your lungs for this in Foxborough. By the third quarter, those Patriots linemen are going to be gassed. And that's when Benito and Cooper will feast. And don't underestimate the value of momentum either. The energy coming out of Denver right now is electric. Everyone's rallying. Broncos Twitter is lit up with support for Stidham, memes, and all. That picture of him in sunglasses, the LeBron meme throwback, it's everywhere. It symbolizes the belief. This fan base is behind him.